On to the next game. Really excited about the result from last week, obviously, and obviously I spoke after the game that there's things that we can improve on. Looking forward to getting that done this week. Obviously, we practiced today in our meetings and lift. So, I thought the guys for the experience of being on the road for the first time was good, and now we're heading out to Boulder, Colorado. That's going to be a fun trip for us, and starting Big 12 game. So our season in the conference. So we're 1/4 through the season. Looking forward to the next one, and excited about the matchup. Really happy with the way the guys, the leaders, everyone approached the game going back east. And again, I think you've heard me say this before, but really thankful for all the fans that were there. The support that we received, it was awesome, and really good to see the Blue out there cheering for us, and hope those fans know how much we appreciate them, and for them making the trip to come visit us. Now with this week, looking forward to the matchup against Colorado and Coach Prime and the group, and I think Coach Prime would tell you that our relationship, I have tons of respect and admiration for him and what he's done as a coach and as a father and as a disciple of Christ. And so really excited about the matchup. Obviously we saw each other in the bowl game, but this is a different matchup. Every year is different and every week's different. So we're a different team than back in the Alamo Bowl, and they're a different team as well. See on film that they have tons of talent. We're at their place now, so it's going to be a difficult environment to play in. But looking forward to the matchup and looking forward to seeing my friend Coach Prime again. I think he'll say the same statement that I love him to life. And so really excited about the matchup, excited about the opportunity that we're in right now, going into the conference play, and excited about our team and the progress that we're making. Hopefully we can give our best shot when we get out there Saturday night. So what questions do you guys have for me?
Our first question will be from John Kuhn.
Kalani, you look at what L.J. Martin has done to start this season. He's just the second BYU player to start the year with 3 straight 100-yard games. And a lot of those yards are hard-fought yards. Like, it takes multiple tacklers to bring him down at the end of a run. From your perspective, what has LJ done to take his game up another level this season from the already high level he was running at?
Well, LJ's always been a team guy. That's the main thing, and it's never been about him and his numbers and his carries. He's going to do all the little things right, even when the ball is not in his hands. And this year, he's elevated his leadership role as a captain. That's the one thing that I think has really set him apart from everything else. That the players, they take on his personality and his leadership skills. They followed it. I mean, they see the importance that it is for him, and they follow what he does as an example. Maybe not the most outspoken guy, but he's not afraid to talk. But man, his example, if you just work as hard as he does, it will be fine. And so, and then he's not really worried about the numbers. He only cares about the team. And I think, those first 2 games he could have been out there and demanded the ball more, but I think he understands what we're trying to accomplish and understands that we need to keep working on some depth and getting other guys a chance too. So he's a complete back, and I'm glad that he's a leader and a captain for us.
All right, next question will be from Jay Drew.
Yeah, 2 questions from me, Kalani. First, Evan Johnson, what do you recall as far as his recruitment? It seems like he's only had one offer and that was you guys, as far as a Power 4 offer. But does that speak to kind of the development program that you guys have become? And just what can you tell us about getting Evan to the program?
Well, I mean, in the recruiting process, the really impressed with his family, with his mom and dad, and the way they raised him. I think we could see the potential there with the speed. I mean, he's one of the fastest guys out of California the year that he came out as a senior. So we knew he had tons of speed, and we knew he had a lot of ability and athleticism. And so all we had to do was give him a chance to play in a system that was going to highlight his skills. And so as he started doing that, we've been able to see him thrive in the system that Jay has, and I think the sky's the limit for him. He is such a great player, and he's a lot of fun to be around. And so, it makes sense that he's going to make plays, and I'm glad that he took advantage of the opportunities that he had Saturday night.
And then on the 12 men on the field call that erased the pick by Tanner Wall, did the officials not let Logan have the opportunity to get off the field there? Was that called correctly after review?
I don't think it was, but there's going to be a discrepancy because East Carolina subbed twice. They had a first sub earlier, and then we subbed with that, and then they had a second later sub, and then we subbed with that. But the question was that our guys had too much indecision on who was coming out, and so according to the rules, you're supposed to give us time to even. It's not like everybody has the decision to when to come out. We're actually trying to match their sub, and they didn't think we matched it fast enough, and so that was the argument that I had with the refs, is that you have to give us time to match the sub just like they did with the first substitution. But it's okay. We just have to be more decisive when we sub people in, even though you're supposed to be given the timing to do that. But we try to do everything we can within the rules, and if we didn't do it good enough, then that's on our fault. And I was just trying to complain to the rest because I was trying to understand the timing. How long are we supposed to know? How do they know? How do they dictate when the decision has been made or not? And so that's okay. It's a good learning experience for all of us. It just happens to take away a turnover from Tanner when he made such a great play. And so, if they would have gained 20 yards, I probably would have been not as upset. So there's a human part in that too with me. So it's because we didn't get the play, it's okay. I just got to do a better job making sure the guys understand to make more clear decisions on who's on and off and who's supposed to be in there when we do our substitutions.
Next question from Jay Catch.
Kalani, Jay Catch, KSL Sports Zone in Salt Lake City. Just wanted to ask you, in terms of I guess I can call it a rematch against Colorado, how much carryover do you think there can be from that bowl game into this matchup?
There's always some carryover, but the players aren't the same on both sides, so and then you're always trying to find ways to get you a competitive advantage. So that's the fun part in the game and the prep during the week, is that we don't know exactly what they're going to do. We have an idea, but they don't know exactly what we're going to do too. So you have to kind of prep for all of it, and then you have to make adjustments and see what happens in the game on Saturday night. So it's what we have to do every week, and it just happens that we played these guys in a bowl game, and now we see them, for us, game 4. So now this one's on the road, and we just got to be ready for it. So I don't think it's anything different than what we've already experienced already, and that goes the same for them.
It has some quarterback roulette this season. Caden Salter, Ryan Staub, Juju Lewis. Are you going to have to prepare for all three, or do you feel like you've figured out if it's going to be Salter for sure?
No, until they tell us for sure what they're going to go with, I think we have to assume that they can play all three, and so that's part of the being prepared for all of them. And all three that we've seen on film can play. They can throw the ball, and they're very talented, and the talented O-line. This is a really talented team, and so it's not going to be an easy game to go in there and play the. And I'm sure they remember the bowl game. I'm sure they want some payback, but it's a different year, different mindset, and I'm just happy with the way we're playing. We just got to go in there and make sure that we do our part. I can't control what they do, but we can control what we do, and we can control all the things that we've made mistakes on from the last weekend and even the 2 games before that. So we just need to be a lot cleaner, more disciplined. We have too many penalties. All that stuff that we can control, that's what I got to focus on as a head coach, and make sure that we don't make those mistakes again.
Next question from Mitch Harper.
Kalani, after your review of the film against East Carolina, what was working so well for Bear Bachmeier in that second half? What kind of led to his success from your vantage point reviewing the film?
I think he was making great decisions before. Just wasn't connecting on all the plays. I start with play one. However it was, between him and Parker, that should have been a completion. But you just keep playing, and you keep taking advantage of your opportunities that come down. I mean, you forget about that play. It's a play-to-play type of deal. You have to forget about it and keep moving on. And he did a great job at that, moving on from when he could have had a throwaway, could have had a play. And I was just really pleased with everything that he's done, from the audibles, the checks that he made, getting the guys out of the huddle. And I thought he did a great job, and he seemed to grow up quite a bit from the first play to the second half. And I think that was really good for us to see him do that. And I'm excited about what he can do. He's highly intelligent, has great football IQ, great leader. He's tough, and things are starting to click for him. So we just need to make sure to keep that momentum going.
Next question from Kyle Ireland.
Kalani, your first 2 years out of the Big 12 conference member were impacted by conference realignment, with you guys obviously coming into the league, teams leaving after that first season, and then new programs coming in last year. What does it do for your coaching staff as far as your preparation this year to be able to have some stability as far as the membership is concerned? You guys are seeing, teams in multiple seasons consecutively now.
Yeah, I mean, they're all well-coached teams, so it's not like and being only third year in it, it's not like you have a understanding of every team in the conference. But because they're common opponents, you can see it, a lot of them on film. And even though you rotate playing some here and there, eventually you'll get more familiar with the coaches than it is with the players, because the conference schedule will change quite a bit year to year. But it's just a lot of fun being in this conference, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy the coaches that are in it, the place that we play at, and the opponents that come to our home here in Provo and Lavelle Edwards Stadium. And so it feels really good when we went from an independent team to now being part of an amazing conference. So I'm just enjoying the ride and enjoying being part of and being affiliated with this conference. It's an honor for us to be here, and really cool to be in these environments. And I mean, to go to Colorado and play there to be an amazing experience for our players and our fans, and to have that is going to be really cool. So everything is we're just enjoying every part of it.
Next question from Sean Walker.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to ask you about Carson Ryan, because we talked about him a decent amount during the offseason, and it seems like he was expected to play a pretty big role in this offense, but his role through 3 games has been maybe even bigger than the 2 touchdowns he scored. Just what is it about his game where he's kind of proving to be, I think he's pretty close to an every down tight end for you guys?
No, he's a complete tight end. He's been a complete tight end ever since I remember him playing at a young age, and he's he can do so many things. He's versatile. He can block. He can catch. He's big. I mean, he's a great leader. He's bought into whatever we ask him to do, and I don't think anybody works harder than he does in practice. He sweats more than anyone I know, and that usually means he's working really hard. And then he has an amazing mustache game. So when you combine all those things, I mean, it just makes sense that you should be a great tight end to BYU.
Next question from Brandon Gurney.
Kalani, well, one of the stats you probably aren't too fond of were the 10 penalties for 101 yards. How much of that was a result of just being on the road for the first time, and how are you addressing that this week?
Well, all of them are different types of penalties, so we have to look at the ones that I think sometimes the ones that happen during the gameplay is different than the ones that are false starts and things like that, mental mistakes. So we can control the ones that are, the holding penalties, even within the game. We can control it, just kind of move your feet a little bit more, and then the substitution one, that's on me. If we're looking at the other penalties, they're kind of in the so we had a taunting and sportsmanlike. That's not us. Can't have that, and can't cost the team. And so those are easy adjustments to be made. Has nothing to do whether you're home or on the road. It just has to do with your mentality and playing smart and playing with a good mindset, not getting angry at some of the things that are being said on the field, just keeping it about the team first. And so, these guys are learning it. Fortunately for us, they didn't hurt us too much. They did hurt some of the drives, some of the holding penalties, things like that. But just got to be more disciplined. That's my job as a coach, is teach these young men to be more disciplined and play with a great mindset. It's okay to be physical. It's okay to talk back and forth too, but if not if that's going to throw you off your game. Then if that's going to throw you off the game, then just shut up and play football. But they're young, they're learning. I got to do a better job and make sure that we're not getting 10 penalties. That's hard to have that many penalties. It's hard to make up the difference when those could kill drives and take points off the board.
Next question from Kevin Reynolds.
Hey, Kalani, after the game on Saturday, Harvey Unga tweeted about something about stealing signs. I was just curious if you thought that East Carolina was stealing signs in 2022, and was that something you prepared for going into this game of trying to protect that?
I don't know much about about Harvey's thing, but you can just say that it's teams can do whatever they want, and we can huddle and we can do a lot of different things too, but I'm not going to worry about it. You have to just play the game. Eventually, it's going to be the guys on the field that play the game. So I'd just rather us not talk about stuff and just play the game.
Next question from Mitch Harper.
Last year, Kalani, you guys were just outside the Big 12 championship with the tiebreaker. You were close, but didn't get to your ultimate goal. What lessons have maybe you learned from last year's that you can carry over into this season as you begin Big 12 play this week?
Yeah, just control what we control. Stay humble, work hard, and don't talk. Just keep working. I mean, we're not here campaigning for things. We got to control what we control. And that's the things that I got to do as a head coach. And I mean, there's a lot of momentum and a lot of buzz going on, but just got to play football. And we got to be humble. We got to work hard. And the only statements that we can make have to be on the field. That's pretty much what I'm trying to keep the guys focused on. Last year, all that stuff, it doesn't really matter. Let's focus on this week, and let's get better. Let's get better from last week to this week, and see what happens on Saturday night.
Our last question will be from Jake Hatch.
Yeah, Kalani, you talked about your relationship with Coach Prime and how you guys have struck up this relationship. How did that come about, I guess, originally?
Well, I'm a big Deion Sanders fan. That's how it came about, and seeing the way he played football and all the things that he did and then a lot of people that I knew that kind of crossed paths with him. Tom Homo, Brian Mitchell was a great teammate of his. They said all these wonderful things about him, and so being a fan and then being able to meet him and talk with him, and it's not just him; it's his staff. They have some amazing people on that staff and amazing young men on that team, and so just being around them all, for that time that we were at the bowl game, just confirmed that there's a lot of really good people there and highly competitive people. They want to win, but when you get to know I think we get to know all the competitive parts of an opponent. It's sometimes nice to get to know the human element and see that they're loving people too, But when it gets time to play the game, I know that they'll be really competitive, and so will we. But there's some of the things I learned from Lavelle is to definitely respect your opponent and always try to find ways to connect with people. And so I'm trying to do that, and I'm really thankful for the relationship that I have with a lot of coaches and all the coaches in this conference. And I'm excited about the relationship that I have with Deion and what he's been able to do. Coach Prime's done a great job as a leader, and so I'm always trying to connect with people. If anything, the head coaches at other programs know what I'm going through, so there's a lot of common ground there. And when we are able to talk, before the game and even after the game, I just hope that they know how much I appreciate and respect them.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Take care.
All right, next up we've got tight end Carson Ryan.
Okay, Carson. I didn't know you were there.
His hair and mustache is not getting enough credit.
Yeah, I'll be good. Don't do anything like this.
Thanks, Kenny.
Yep.
Hey, Carson. Carson, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, all right. Our first question is going to be from John Kuhn.
So far this season, Carson, you've had a chance to really kind of show what you're capable of at the tight end position. It seems like you've really kind of found a niche within this offense. What is about this offense has kind of brought out your strengths as a tight end and allowed you to kind of maybe take that step forward that you wanted to take forward this season?
Well, something they've really allowed me to do here in this offense is just be on the field all the time, being every down tight end. It's been my goal, just being able to be a physical blocker and also get out, make some plays in the pass game like I've been doing, and just being able to show my athleticism, being able to get open against linebackers and safeties and show that I'm a viable threat down the field to catch the ball and make plays with the ball in my hand, and so it's something I want to continue doing too.
All right, next question from Sean Walker.
Hey, Carson, I wanted to ask you a similar question about kind of your start to the season on the football field, but I need to start really quick. You've got an incredible mustache, and I need some tips. Can you give me just like a peek into your mustache care? Like, how do you take care of it? Do you condition it every day? Like, what kind of goes into the process of keeping that up?
I mean, I don't do much to it. It's not that big of a secret. I use conditioner when I shower sometimes, but I mean, I don't use beard oil or I trim it every couple weeks, make sure it doesn't get too long. But yeah, I mean, there's no secret to it. I've just been blessed and to have a lucky, nice mustache. So
I'm impressed that you keep that thing as clean as you do without any beard oil. Seriously, as a member of the facial hair mafia myself, I'm seriously impressed by it. Your connection with Bear has been really good this year, especially for a quarterback who's only been on campus for a couple of months, first-time starter, all of that stuff. Just how did you kind of develop as much chemistry and synchronicity, I think, with him so quickly?
I mean, it's one thing I really focused on since Bear came here and just all through fall camp and through the season so far, just be consistent, just consistently get up when I can, doing my job, and just letting them know that I'm there. But the ball might not always come to me, or the defense might not always, make me a viable option in the play, but just consistently be there and doing my job so that Bear knows that if he needs me, I'm going to be there. And so just stuff like that, to not have Bear worry about where I'm going to be on each play, just be a reliable piece for him on the offense so he doesn't have to think as much.
Next question from Jay Catch.
Yeah, Carson, I don't know how much you pay attention to Pro Football Focus and their grades, but I got you as one of the top-rated tight ends in the Western United States. Does that validate what you've done so far this season, in your opinion?
I mean, to me, I don't like to look at the outside stuff and the rankings. I worry about my game and what I do and just focus on things that I can get better on. It's nice to see all the accolades and people ranking stuff online and the PFF grades. It's great to see that, but I mean, that doesn't matter at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it matters is if I can play good football and if we can win games.
I also wanted to ask you, we saw you on a couple of play actions, some innovative play calling lick from Aaron Roderick. Can you just speak to how he's utilizing you in the passing game in particular?
No, I think A-Rod's got a great offense here. He does a great job of utilizing the weapons that he has for an offense. It changes year to year. With whatever team you're on, you're going to have different guys, and A-Rod does a really good job of taking advantage of everyone's skill sets and who does best at what. And so, like you said, a lot of the play action passes that we do, things that help Bear make easier reads and kind of limit his thinking on the offense, just let him throw the ball out there and show his athleticism, just stuff like that, and it helps us out a lot.
Next question from Brandon Gurney.
Yeah, Carson, a hallmark of the offense, at least through the first 3 games, it seems like you guys get off to rough starts, but specifically Bear, but you guys improved quite a bit over the course of the game. What are the reasons for that specifically, maybe with Bear, maybe with the offensive play calling that you've seen?
I feel like it's just us getting into a groove. We've got a lot of new guys on this offense, and we got a new leader at quarterback, so it just kind of the slow starts aren't great for us to see. We want to come out rolling, just firing from the beginning, but, we had a couple opportunities in the first half, just barely coming short, and a couple deep throws that we just missed, or where Lake Parker's just out of bounds. Just stuff like that. We see and we see that it's there and that it's hopefully going to be working as we get further into the season. Just Bear just continue to get his confidence. One thing I really noticed is as soon as he started making some of those throws and kind of get into a groove of things and become more confident himself, he started playing great, especially in that second half, end of the first, going into the second half. He was making great throws and making the right reads and making decisions the whole game. And so as we continue to do that and he continues to just grow in confidence, I think he's going to be a great quarterback for us.
Next question from Jay Drew.
Yeah, Carson, you've been at 3 different programs. How would the kind of the tight ends room at BYU compare to what it was at UCLA and Utah? And then just give us a scouting report on Kean and Noah and Ethan Erickson and kind of how they add to the depth of the tight end room.
I think we got a lot of good players in this tight end room. I've been around a lot of good tight ends in college. Not a lot of guys who are in the NFL right now or guys who will be in the NFL, in my opinion. So I've had a lot of opportunities to learn from a lot of great players and great coaches, and I think we got a lot of that here at BYU. We got a great coach, and we got great players like Keane. He's a really big dude, good blocker for us. I think he's going to continue to get better as the year goes on. And Noah, he's a good athlete, blocks in space really well. He can be a solid blocker in the line for us. So I think the more as we get more guys in the offense and more guys more into that 12 and 13 personnel, hopefully we can see more of that coming up soon. Get more guys in like Ethan and Noah and Kean, just get more tight ends on the field. And that's what I love to see. So.
Next question from Mitch Harper.
Carson, you experienced the Big 12 last year at Utah. What were some things you learned about this conference that maybe different than the Pac-12 and what it takes to compete in this league?
No, I think Big 12 is really competitive. Comparing to the Pac-12, I mean, it's you're playing high-level football. Everyone's going to be good players, and you got big guys on every team. A lot of physicality in this conference too, which is always fun to play against. And I think there's going to be a lot of fight for those 2 spots in the Big 12 championship. We got a lot of good teams, and we got a tough schedule ahead of us, so we just got to be ready to be physical and go out, and we got to start fast, like I said earlier, and go out and just be ready to hit people. So I think that's going to be the big thing for us going into the rest of these games, because we got a lot of defensive-heavy teams coming up, in my opinion, and so we just got to be ready to go against those.
Our last question will be from Kyle Ireland.
Carson, you had 4 catches for 78 yards last year at Colorado. What do you remember about playing at Folsom Field and what that experience was like?
Well, I played there a couple times in my college career, and last year and the first year I was there, it's always a loud crowd there. They get a lot of fans out there, and it's a fun stadium to go to. I think it's really cool area. I like their stadium a lot, and so I always have fun playing there, and so I'm excited to get out there again and hopefully put up another similar game like I did last year. And I think they're going to be a good, solid team, and Coach Prime always has good players coming in every year, so we're going to be ready for them and for what they got for us.
All right, thank you, Carson.
Thank you.
All right, next up we'll have safety Tanner Wall. Welcome, Tanner. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, do we have any questions for Tanner? All right, we'll start off with Jay Catch.
Tanner, Jay Catch, KSL Sports on Salt Lake City. Just wanted to ask you, the interception that got negated, what was the chatter with Logan like on the sideline?
Oh, I didn't get to chat with him too much. He's actually walking in right here, so I should give him a hard time. You can't see him. But no, we sat next to each other on the plane. I was just kind of giving him a hard time. But, no hard feelings whatsoever. Kind of a little mix-up there, but it's all right. We ended up getting an interception on that drive anyways, so more to Evan Johnson for a little 2 picks on the game.
Speaking of that drive, as well as some of the others in the second half, Kalani kind of referred to it post-game. He felt like he might have got a little worn down in the game. Do you feel that was the reason why he's able to give up those yards and those longer drives in the second half?
I think fatigue was a factor, probably not the biggest factor. I think, honestly, there were a lot of times where we were in the perfect call to get out of the drives on those third downs, and we just didn't make plays. So I think, really what allowed them to kind of extend those drives was us not capitalizing on opportunities that we had. That's what I would say.
Next question from Jay Drew.
Hey, Tanner, what can you tell us about Evan Johnson? What's he like off the field? What have you seen from his development? And obviously, you guys probably weren't surprised at what he did the other night, but that was right up there in the annals of BYU football history as impressive goes.
Absolutely. No, and for those of you who have maybe been, talking with me throughout this offseason, I think I've been mentioning Evan as a guy who I expected to have a great season for us. He's a great player. He handled the offseason the right way. He was coming off an injury, but just seeing how fast and explosive he is, in the way that he takes pride in preparing for games in practice and watching film. I've known for a while that he was going to be an impact player for us, and now he's had some of those opportunities to make those plays in the games, and he's made them. And he's going to continue to make them. But I was super thrilled for him and to see him make plays in those big moments. And I'm excited to see what he'll do the rest of the season.
Do you know
Next
how,
question. Oh, sorry.
You know how he got that nick- Maybe some of the younger guys know this whole Shmev thing, but it's lost on me. How did he get that nickname?
I'm not sure where that originated from, but that's just what we call him. Yeah, Shmev. I don't know that I've ever called him Evan, so.
It rhymes with Evan, Shmevin.
Yeah, Shmevin, Evan. It's just kind of where it came from, I guess.
Got it. Thanks.
All right, next question from Brandon Gurney.
Yeah, Tanner, what have you seen from Colorado offensively? What do they present, and what do you guys got to be prepared for come Saturday?
Obviously we played them in the bowl game last year. It's a great team with a lot of talent. I think offensively, their offensive philosophy, their scheme has changed just a little bit. In the bowl game, we saw a lot of 4 wide out and 5 wide out sets. So I think a little more traditional personnel packages. But yeah, another great team with good players. Curious to see, how we scheme up compared to the scheme that we put together for the Alamo Bowl. But just know that we're going to go out in a great environment and face another good team with talented players. And we're excited for that.
Next question from Mitch Harper.
Tanner, last year you guys were the underdog in that game against Colorado. Everyone was just talking about the Buffs going into that one, and you guys got that win. Is there any maybe a different mindset in this week where you guys are viewed as the favorite and they're the underdog?
Yeah, I don't think our team, we don't really pay attention to that stuff too much, honestly. Just focused on taking everything a game at a time and respecting our opponent every week, whether we're favored by however much or whether we're an underdog, whether it's at home or away. We know what we got to go in and do to come out with a win. So we're going to prepare in that way and have that mindset and, never get lackadaisical in our preparation just by assuming that we're the better team because we're favored. We don't really read into that too much.
I know that you're focused on this week, but just reflecting back on that Alamo Bowl, just how great of a moment was that for this program, just catapulting you into the offseason, giving the momentum for this season in 2025?
Yeah, that was a special way to end the season, definitely winning in the fashion that we did. Obviously the narrative going into that game was very one-sided. Even during the game continued to be very one-sided, but we were stoked to put a great game together. Played solid 60 minutes and had a lot of exciting plays, and that game was definitely in the eyes of a lot of people. So to have that sort of coverage and that exposure to our program and our success was a great way to end the year and really project us into the offseason, as you mentioned, kind of carry that momentum and excitement, just knowing and trusting how capable we are of winning games against great teams in big moments, and looking forward to more moments like that in this 2025 season.
Our last question will be from Jake Hatch.
Tanner, potential to see 3 different quarterbacks from Colorado. What's the biggest issue to prepare for multiple QBs in a single game?
I think what it comes down to is just the preparation, that it requires on our end, just from a coaching perspective and from us, understanding scheme-wise, what to be expecting from all 3 different skill sets and, what their strengths and what their weaknesses are. So I think the time factor is the biggest thing on our end throughout this week. We'll have to spend more time focusing on making sure we understand the 3, different playing styles and 3 different options that they have, and making sure that we are, amply prepared for whatever we might see, and so that we can go execute what our coaches need us to.
All right, thank you, Tanner.
Thank you.
All right, and then last up, we've got Logan Lutui. Hey, Logan, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. All right, what questions do we have for Logan? All right, we'll start off with Jay Catch.
Logan, I asked Tanner if he was upset that the call against you that negated his interception, but we had Kalani kind of explain that he thought you should have been allowed extra time or adequate time to get off the field. Can you take us through what happened there and why they ultimately called the penalty?
Yeah, I think, like we know when the offense subs, we're able to sub as well, and usually we're expecting the ref to hold the ball. So something that we do is sometimes take our time going off the field, which kind of runs the play clock down for the offense, but the ref didn't hold it as long as he usually does, and I got caught, and that's on me, miscommunication error, and yeah, I got an earful of that.
Well, I also wanted to ask you, just in terms of your overall play, you're the vet in that defensive end room and really kind of leading the way for this unit. How have you felt about your play to this point in the season?
Yeah, I think I'm happy with how I've been playing, especially these past 3 games. I'm happy how our whole defensive line has been playing. We've been playing as a unit lately, and the people who've been coming in, who are getting their first couple snaps in college football, they haven't dropped off any from the players that we've had last year. So I think for me, I'm just impressed about not only just myself, but also the entire defensive line.
All right, next question from Sean Walker.
Yeah, a little bit on that note, Logan. You guys on the D line have done a really nice job, as has the entire defense, I guess. But the D line in particular has done a really nice job of just kind of holding the trenches down, manning the trenches really well. How excited are you to be able to get 340 pounds of beef back here, probably pretty soon, in a guy like Justin Kirkland? Because it sounds like he's been practicing a little bit more with you guys and could be ready. I'll say soon. We won't put a date on it, but probably pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm super excited for Justin to get back with us. He's a great addition to our defensive line. He brings a lot of experience. He's a great player that we've played him twice now when he was at Oklahoma State. And since he's been here, he's been nothing but a great teammate. And we're, just waiting for him to get that green light to join us back on. And we know he's going to make an impact when he comes back.
Next question from Jay Drew.
Yeah, 2 questions, Logan. I noticed you lead the team in tackles, which is pretty rare for a defensive end. Is that an anomaly, or is that kind of how this defense is set up to be schemed out?
Well, I think the biggest thing for our defense is when we stop the run, it's a really gap-sound defense. And I guess the ball just seems to bounce my way. And I know that comes through everybody playing their 111, and so I give a lot of credit to our entire defense for doing their job. And when the ball comes my way, I'm excited and ready to make a play. So I just tip my hat to my teammates and for them doing their job to allow me to make plays.
And then kind of on a personal level, what led to you deciding to come back? Was there ever a doubt? If I'm not mistaken, you went through the senior walk last year. So just kind of take me through the process of when you decided to come back and then how the NCAA cleared you to come back.
Yeah, so I always knew I had an extra year from when I had tore my ACL back in 22, but I think something that helped me to make the decision coming back was not only with my wife and talking with my wife, but also with Coach Hill and Coach Kalani, and what they saw with what I can do this year with our team and what the view and the what we thought we were going to be able to accomplish this year. And I think that's what kind of had an influence in my decision of coming back and being able to be a part of something great. And I'm so glad that I did, and I'm glad that they were able to talk me into it. And yeah, I'm glad to be a part of this team.
Next question from Jake Hatch.
Yeah, Logan, can you just give us a scout of what you remember about playing Colorado, but also what you expect on Saturday?
Yeah, for Colorado, what we remember playing them is that they're a team that likes to spread the ball. They do want to get their run game going and get their pass game off of that. So I think our first and foremost, our goal is to stop the run. That's going to be the front seven. And I feel like we've done a great job up to this point, but coming into conference, we're going to have to step it up a whole nother level, and we're ready for that. And when the time comes is to get after the quarterback, and I think that's something that we're going to have to emphasize going into this game with the opportunities that we're going to get with this offense.
All right, do we have any other questions for Logan? All right, Logan, you're good to go. Thanks so much.
Thank you.